Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Juan's World. I'm going to be doing a little bit of cooking today, partly because it's Tuesday and partly because I'm still stuck in lockdown and hope to be released by Friday, so we may be out of these lockdown chronicles. Meanwhile, I'm going to make corned beef hash. Now, in the United States, you can usually buy a version of corned beef hash in cans, which I used to, but it's much better if you make it yourself, and it's the best if you can use actual corned beef that you've made and chop it up and add the other ingredients and so forth. But I can't get the right spices and the right beef and all of that in Cambodia, but I was able to pick up a can of corned beef pictured here. Now, there are different brands of corned beef available here in Phnom Penh, but most of them are very expensive. A can like this is usually about $9 or $10, which is this is a lot of money. I can buy an awful lot of other things for $10. But I've had a hankering for corned beef hash for some time. Used to have it as a breakfast in diners in New York. I used to make it myself. And just like bagels and pastrami and other New York things, I just decided in lockdown, okay, I'll make corned beef hash. So let's get on with that. Here's the beginning of the hash. It's a mix of onions, potatoes, and bell pepper, and I'm just sweating them down as the first step before adding the corned beef. So when the various vegetables have been sweated down a little bit, then you can add the corned beef. Open up the tin and dump it out into your pan, and then you need to mash it down very well and mix it together with the vegetables and cook it all down. So once you have everything mashed up and mixed together, then you just need to put it on low heat for a little while to heat everything through. The corned beef is already cooked, so you don't need to cook it anymore, but you do need to mix everything together and thoroughly heat through. And I'm going to add a small bit of broth just to moisten a little bit. And then what I need to do is to heat on high heat in order for the corned beef hash to form a small crust on the outside. Alright, so here's a very brief reminder of how to poach an egg. You bring a pan of acidulated water, that is water with a little bit of vinegar or lemon or some other acid in it, to a rolling boil, and then you place in a whole egg. And I always crack the egg into a bowl before I place it in the water, because I want to make sure that I don't break the yolk, which I sometimes do, not very often, but sometimes. So, egg in, and the white is going to spread out a little bit, but you can use a slotted spoon to just bring it all back together again, and you'll see it's cooking the white. I want the white cooked, and I want the yolk to still be runny, and then I'm going to place, I'm going to actually make 2 poached eggs, but for the purposes of demonstration I'll just show you one. And my corned beef hash is heating and crisping on the bottom, and then I'll show you the finished product on a plate with the egg on top, and I'm going to add, as I always do, Tabasco to the top. So you can see I ended up with 2 poached eggs, and the amount of corned beef hash that I made was really enough for 2 portions. So this is half of the corned beef hash and 2 poached eggs with a runny yolk. I'm going to let the yolk run over the corned beef hash as I eat it. And meanwhile, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe, tell all your friends, and I'll be back on Friday, hopefully out of lockdown, and maybe able to teach my classes again, don't know. But I wish you all the best for the coming week.